Exactly how far from Earth have Earth-living beings actually died? You would think no living beings born on Earth could avoid dying sooner or later right here on this same planet. Or is that wrong? It turns out that right now, in the modern age of space travel, there are definitely other possibilities. As of 2016, 18 brave astronauts are officially reported to have died during space flights, with 15 of them passing away right after launch or upon atmospheric re-entry, and only 3 of them actually perishing deep in space. The 3 people mentioned above were the Soviet cosmonauts Vladislav Volkov, Viktor Patsayev, and Georgy Dobrovolsky, the crew of Soyuz 11. Back on the 30th of June 1971, after spending over 23 days hanging out in orbit, they were undocking from space station Salyut 1 when a breathing ventilation valve unexpectedly jerked open during the tricky separation of the orbital and descent modules. This glitch resulted in a steady loss of cabin pressure, which sadly caused the cosmonauts' deaths within just about 30 short seconds. The whole tragedy, unfortunately, occurred at a height of about 167 kilometers. So sadly, this honestly marks the farthest from the Earth that humans have ever officially died. However, human space missions were actually preceded by launching various other living creatures straight into space. Both the United States and the USSR had already been putting animals at the top of giant rockets since 1947. These passengers were mainly dogs, monkeys, and chimps, but also included wasps, beetles, tortoises, flies, worms, fish, spiders, rabbits, bees, ants, frogs, mice, crickets, rats, and some other animals, many of which sadly died in space. But honestly, the living beings that have undoubtedly died farthest from Earth are surprisingly not humans or even those test animals. These are just tiny microbes. Even though a spacecraft will definitely need to be and are always thoroughly sterilized to simply not contaminate their pristine new environment, many stubborn bacterial spores are somehow still found on them after all those hardcore cleaning steps. Sometimes this annoying problem can even completely lead to a frustrating cancellation of the entire mission. For example, back in 2003, genuinely fearing any dirty contamination of the icy moon Europa, scientists controlling the Galileo mission purposefully crashed the spacecraft straight into Jupiter to prevent any hitchhiking microbes from accidentally taking seed on the moon, which folks think might be habitable. So, no matter what fancy new methods are cleverly developed for properly sterilizing a spacecraft, some microbes manage to remain alive even after brutal exposure to the harsh ultraviolet and ionizing radiation, extreme temperatures, and the deadly vacuum of space. A 2008 study clearly revealed the shocking presence of exactly 1.98 times 10 to the 11th power bacteria clinging to a sterilized spacecraft right prior to launch. If hypothetically just 1 in 1,000 of these microorganisms survives in space conditions, and maybe 1 in 10 of these magically finds a place aboard to avoid ultraviolet radiation, then an average Voyager must actually carry about 10 million spores straight into deep space. Based on another study, their super slow death rate is proved to be just 30% per 6 years, which literally means in 50 years' time, their surviving number will honestly still be 1 million, with literally 1 of them slowly dying every 10 minutes, thus officially setting another wild record in dying farthest from Earth. If you guys really like the video, simply push the like button and make sure to subscribe to our channel. There is honestly lots of fun stuff straight ahead.